Tuesday.
Really awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. Thanks, man.
I guess to start the intro for the um assignment. My name's Ben Turner. I'm here with Mike Greenawalt of the Erie Otters. He's the head ticket salesperson with their front office. Um, I guess to start off, I have a combination of questions here. What's your background and where are you originally from?
Background. So grew up East Springfield, Albion area. So about 20 minutes from Erie. Went to Otters games when I was little, and then went to school at Edinburgh University for sports management. And that hadn't been working in sports for a couple of years. And 5 years ago, got back into it and started working with the Otters.
Awesome. Um, what was your original job title when you started with the Otters?
Honestly, it's been the same. Account executive since the beginning. Obviously, the roles and um, responsibilities have increased, but the it's still the same name, account executive.
Okay. What would you say the biggest benefit would be of the job?
Getting to work in a field that I really like and getting to interact with people on a daily basis.
Alrighty. What would you say the biggest drawback would be doing it?
In season hours, like your schedule during the season and stuff.
What's the schedule look like?
Like you know how it is. Some of those games where we have the back to back. So during in season, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. But some of those games where we could have multiple games, it could be upwards of 60, 70 hours. Like over the next couple of weeks, we have 4 home games out of like a 12-day stand. But so like weeks like that, your only priority is the games and stuff.
Right. Um, could you give a little description, I guess, more about like what your job entails, like your day to day?
Oh yeah, for sure. So in the office, mostly it's tickets, whether it's selling season tickets, exchanging their unused tickets, getting them on a plan, or uh, yeah. So ticket plans, group tickets, birthday parties, all those related things. During the off season, there might be some sponsorship duties in there. We're meeting with people, getting new clients on, keeping other clients happy. Um, and then the hometown hero thing. So like finding those clients and stuff. But again, that comes in again with the sponsorship stuff because they're sponsorship. So the game by game duties, making sure your sponsors are happy and
Okay.
keeping them in line.
How many sponsors would you say the Otters have, or at least that you work with?
Me, I'm about 10. I have 10 clients. Most of mine are smaller. We we have close to, I can get you the exact number, but I'm going to say over 50 sponsors. And
Okay.
those are like ranging in size from like the game day programs for $1,000 a season, or like the major ones where they're doing giveaways or in ice logos and stuff. Most of mine are on the lower end, due to like because of the focus on the tickets and stuff.
Okay. For those looking to get into professional sports, professional hockey, stuff like that, what would be any sort of advice that you could give them if they were to look to it going forward?
Mm, all right, so yeah, good question. So I would first say that there's not, keep your head down, because you never know when an opportunity is going to come up, whether it's working in something else to get that opportunity, and then finding sports, or yeah, just connecting. I think that's the one thing I've learned more than anything is connecting with people. Is the best way to make connections, get those sponsorships, get those opportunities and stuff.
Um,
So just yeah,
okay.
making connections.
I guess what has helped you, I guess kind of branching along that same line of thought, what's helped you the most succeed where what you've been doing with the Otters so far?
Yeah, just always be like willing to learn, see what other teams are doing. I think those are a great way to see what other teams are doing and take that to your advantage.
Okay.
So even like if it's going to another minor league team or a Pirates game or something, just being able to see what other teams are doing. Because just like working in sports, like if you're a coach or a player or a GM or whatever, you're gonna be looking for the best ways to make your team good. And I think it's the same part on our end, just trying to see what works for us and exploring those options.
Alrighty. What would you say the hardest aspect of your job would be? Like, I guess not like a
Uh,
negative, just like the hardest part in general,
for
I guess maybe.
me, just keeping everything in line. Obviously, dates and numbers are a big part of ticket sales, so just being organized for me. Um, we have like obviously, I've the like Outlook calendars are a big help, and then just taking a lot of sticky notes and stuff.
Yeah, I just have a couple more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say the Otters' biggest rival would be right now?
So good. Everyone's going to say London, and I think that would be fair. I think everyone in the league, the OHL, would say London as their rival. I would probably put us like I think we have a pretty good thing going with Niagara right now. Both smaller teams, close. They're probably the closest team to us travel wise, just because they're right over the border. So I like what's been going on with Niagara, but anyone in the OHL is going to tell you the London Knights.
Um, so I guess for those who don't understand the OHL and CHL structure, how many teams are in the OHL and what are the other leagues in the CHL itself?
Good question. Okay, so the OHL or CHL is comprised of three leagues: um, OHL, WHL, and the QJHL, like a French Canadian league. Um, I know for a fact we have 20 teams in our league, so I assume the other ones are pretty close. They don't really coincide too much with each other until the Memorial Cup at the end of the year. And with that, only the top four teams are playing. Um, but we are part of as the Erie Otters are part of the OHL, 20 teams. 17 of those are over the border in Canada. There are three U.S. teams, the Otters, Flint, and Saginaw. So that's another thing we have to deal with that some of the other teams don't is travel. So we have to deal with that. But again, the league does a pretty good job of scheduling those things where you're not going on like a 1 day trip to Erie and then the next day in Sioux. They plan it out pretty well where you're hitting those teams on your road trips and stuff.
Okay. Could you possibly explain the CHL playoff format?
Yeah, so for sure the OHL 20 there's 20 teams, 16 of them make the playoffs, so 80%.
Dang.
Um, only the top four or bottom four don't. They go into a draft lottery now for the top pick. But when we get to playoffs, I don't know a lot of leagues that can compare with ours. I mean, we go straight into a 7-game series, and there's 4 rounds. So the first round, second round, third round, and then championship. Um, the winner of the championship will go on to play in the Memorial Cup against the winner of the Q and the winner of the W. And then a Memorial Cup host will have the rights to broadcast and hold the event. So then there's one other team every year that gets invited to play in the Memorial Cup, whether it's and they transfer that each year. So this year it's probably a Q, next year it's a W, and then the year after that it'll come back to the O, and they just transfer that through the years. The team that hosts it automatically gets into the finals. So that's kind of interesting. Most of the time, they do a pretty good job of finding teams that are going to compete. Like, you're not going to have anyone who's a 17 seed hosting a Memorial Cup or anything.
What kind of changes to the league have you seen since you started with the Otters?
I mean, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing with our league and it being a developmental league. They're able to change things so quick. So just this year, um, we've changed our ticketing system. We're now on AXS. We used to be on Pro Venue. Um, the league mandated that we changed our. They signed a new contract with our streaming service, so we're now on Flow Hockey, which has been a cool addition. I think it's much better. And then, honestly, for the league, last year they changed the rule where players could finish their career in the O and then go play college hockey. So I think we had Pano Femus and Sam Alfano. They're both playing D1 hockey now. Pano is at Notre Dame and Sam is at Arizona State. And before last year, they wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity to go play. So that's been a cool transition. Again, there are negatives with that because then you have players like a Malcolm Spence who we had, who was a second round pick last year, who would have been our probable captain, top player this year, but because of the opportunity that he had, Michigan offered him a scholarship. So now he's playing Division I hockey in Michigan. So I think it's helped and hurt our league, but I think looking at it from the OHL being a developmental league, if you got guys that are able to mature and go play at Division I hockey levels like a Michigan or a Boston or Notre Dame or anything like that, I think that's a great thing for our league too.
Yeah, that is good. I agree with that. Yeah. Um, who would be, I guess, some of the biggest names that have come through the organization that went and graduated up to the NHL?
Obviously, the number one guy is Connor McDavid. I was not here, but last year we retired his jersey number, and that was our biggest game of the year. And then also last year we had the number one pick in the draft again, Matthew Schaefer. He's now at the Islanders, just tearing it up, setting all kinds of records. And then, like I said, Malcolm Spence. But I think at this point, the biggest name I've seen come through is Schaefer. Uh, but on our end, when you look in the league too, we get all these teams that come in. So like, there's been top prospects from other teams that have come in, and we've played against them. But Matthew Schaefer right now is the biggest name for the Otters,
Okay.
besides McDavid.
Um, I guess I just got one more question for you. If you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what would you want to be doing? Sports related or not?
I would definitely, after working in the other jobs, I would definitely love, like, I think working in sports is what I want to do no matter what. Um, but if that weren't an opportunity, I'd probably have to say, like, some kind of teaching job again. but
Yeah.
something in sports is definitely the way I want to do. No matter, like, honestly, whatever sport, it could be hockey, could be baseball, could be football, but I think this is something that uh, I really enjoy and like being a part of.
Do you want to stay within the OHL and the minor leagues, or do you someday want to move up to the AHL, NHL?
That's a great for me. I mean, I'm happy where I am right now, but there is a little bit of that like um, question whether you could move up. Like, again, it is just like any other sport. I think our all everyone's goal in this office would be to work for a bigger team. But again, I think that comes with working like I understand how stressful even our games can be with 3,000 people. I couldn't imagine what it would be like putting them on for like 100,000 or whatever. So
Yeah,
there's there are like I'm happy where I'm at, but if the opportunity presented itself, I could definitely look into it. But yeah, it's just we're happy right now.
that's fair. I guess that's everything I have to ask offhand.
Sweet, yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time to be able to do this with me.
Of course, man. Well, I'll be able to get you like if you need anybody else to do these or anything, and then yeah. But so are you like what was your plan? Are you planning on coming like the 11th or when was your next game you planned on coming?
The 11th.
Okay, perfect. And you just planned on coming the rest of the year?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, let me talk to them and we'll see if we can get you like we'll take care of you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but we'll connect on the 11th. But let me know if you need anything else and we'll talk soon.
Alrighty, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. See ya. Have a good
Have a good
rest of
one.
your day.
You
Yep.
too. Thank you.
Bye.